Joe Lowry, what a day. Happy Wednesday out there. Wacky Wednesday, hump day, the week's middle finger, whatever you want to call it. We're halfway to the weekend. And yes, the Super Bowl hangover is finally wearing off. And today is February 7th. It's actually National Fettuccine Day. That's right. Alfredo Di Lelio, an Italian restaurateur, created fettuccine Alfredo in 1908, all because his wife, who gave birth to a son, would not eat. So what he did was he created some fettuccine with cheese and butter, and bang, there you go. And she liked the dish so much that he told him to put it on the menu at his restaurant, and it became so popular. So enjoy it. Today, National Fettuccine Day. Moving on, the Boston Celtics traveled north to the border to take on the Toronto Raptors last night. They came out on the losing end. That's right, 111-91. Celtics travel to Washington, D.C. to take on the Wizards tomorrow night. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Meanwhile, the red-hot Bruins, coming off a 3-2 win over the Detroit Red Wings last night, travel to New York City tonight to take on the Rangers. Face-off at 8 p.m. Now, as mentioned earlier, Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, he pulled the plug on not only the becoming head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, but actually his friend, the GM, Chris Ballard. Well, he's no longer the coach, no longer in the running. He took his name out of there, withdrew from that. The kicker of all this is that the two had a 90-minute phone call Monday night, setting up the announcement and so forth. So everybody wants to know what happened between Monday night and yesterday morning. Well, it turns out that something was a quick meeting with Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, and they all came away on the same page. Now, there's a couple of reasons why people are speculating why he's staying around. I personally think, one, his family. He's got kids in school. It's kind of hard to just uproot everybody in the middle of the year and say, hey, let's go to Indianapolis. Actually, they started Deflategate. I think that's the reason why they didn't want to go there. But another reason I think that nobody wants to talk about, or actually is talking about it except for the Patriots, is that he will become the head coach of the New England Patriots after Bill Belichick decides when and if he decides to leave. But either way, Josh McDaniels sticking around. That's great news. But as you all know, defensive coordinator Matt Patricia, well, he was officially introduced as the head coach of the Detroit Lions today at a press conference. As for who's going to replace him, no word on that just yet. And also, more follow-up from the Malcolm Butler fiasco and his not playing. As you know, several media insiders posted that Butler missed a team flight to Minnesota, was late to some meetings, missed curfew twice, was found drunk a couple of times, and was caught smoking weed. Butler released a statement yesterday downplaying these accusations. But the one thing that was missing in that statement was he flat out did not deny them. So one speculating now, I'm sure we'll never know what happened, because I am convinced of one thing. We are on to next season. That's right. Now, moving on, after the Super Bowl, NBC's hit show, This Is Us, it's a good show, had quite the episode. In case you didn't know, Jack Pearson died from cardiac arrest after saving his family, dog, and prized possessions from the fire that consumed his home. But as you saw in last night's follow episode, Across the Border, the tears are far from ebbing as Pearson had to be making through a funeral, a visit to his tree, a sprinkling of his ashes as well, and so on, minus the passionate patriarch. And for fans wondering why Jack met that simple, unexpected end, series creator Dan Fogelman reveals that the vision he had from the earliest days of NBC's family drama. He quoted saying, when I started to write this thing in my mind, there was a fire at the house. The patriarch and the family will get everybody out, and then he'll die in a really smaller way. Anyways, after the episode, viewers took to social media with cries of, how can this happen? And medical experts, doctors, nurses, all tweeting about, why didn't they put this man on oxygen to save his life? It's TV, folks, you get it? NBC writers continue to defend their script, and this will continue to go on. Well, as we all know, Kylie Jenner and rapper Travis Scott welcomed a baby girl into the world the other day, and it was announced yesterday that the name of their baby is now Stormy. But we didn't know, as of today, what the last name will be. Well, it's Webster. Not really sure why they come up with that name, but there you go. And in case you missed it this morning's Today Show, the 2018 Gerber baby is now Lucas Warren. That's right, the 1-year-old from Dalton, Georgia, is the first child with Down syndrome to be named the Gerber baby since the contest started more than 90 years ago. The baby's mom, Courtney Warren, said she entered the Gerber contest on a whim after a relative pointed out an ad seeking submissions. Now, after posting a photo of Lucas on Instagram using the contest hashtag, Courtney and her husband Jason received the news that their son had been chosen from more than 140,000 entries to be the 2018 Gerber spokesperson. Bill Partiga, CEO and president of Gerber, says Lucas' smile and happy expression captured the hearts of the Gerber team. Well, if you like Dave Amonte or even Baby Cakes and millions of others, your 401k is on a ride of a lifetime. That's right. There's only one word that experts are using to describe this week's performance of the stock market, and that is volatile. Get used to that word, folks. Volatile. Anyway, stocks dropped over 500 points on Monday, only to slowly rebound yesterday, and today they are up 280 points. Analysts are trying to lasso the reason for the craziness, but the latest moves come after 3 volatile sessions in which fear of rising inflation set interest rates higher, pressuring equities. Traders also blamed computerized trading and sharp moves on obscure volatility funds, there's that word again, and used for leverage for the market's recent swings. Anyways, the Dow closed today just under 24,000 points. Well, only a few days into the tax filing season, the IRS is sounding an alarm about a new tax scam. You got to listen up, folks. Specifically, it's warning tax preparers to be on their guard about the scam, which is aimed at stealing taxpayer refunds by using data compromised in the tax preparer's office. Now, the agency said it's already received a number of fake fax returns that had accurate taxpayer names, addresses, social security numbers, even bank account information. But in an unusual twist, some bogus refunds, get this, were actually directed to real taxpayers' bank accounts, and a criminal posing as a debt collector then contacted the taxpayer saying the refunds had been sent in error and that the victims should take the money and forward it to them. This is crazy, folks. At this point, the IRS is warning everyone to be extra vigilant when preparing and filing taxes and to make sure nothing out of the ordinary is happening. Well, finally, folks, I'm going to tell you what you really, really want, and that's the Spice Girls. That's right. They announced they're planning a reunion tour. No dates have been set as it's now in the planning stages, but Mel B, Victoria Beckham, Jerry Halliwell, and Emma Bunton and Melanie C are getting back together. That's right. They'll start out in the UK, of course, and they'll head back over here to the US, but we do know is that they're not setting up residency in Vegas. That's a good thing. And there's no plans to record new music. However, we're told they are working on merchandising opportunities. Holla, holla, holla about that. All right, folks. Well, don't forget that you got to visit my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Joe Lowry. What a day. You have to hit the subscribe button. It's free. It's free. It's free. I need you. I need everybody. Everybody enjoy their wacky Wednesday hump day, as I like to call it, the week's middle finger. I'm Joe Lowry. What a day.